Look in mama, I see the woman, a wonderful woman, an African woman, mother of nature, beautiful woman, beautiful woman. Me a bride. Looks like a girl, but she's a flame. So bright she can burn your eyes. Better look the other way. You can try, but you'll never forget her name. She's on top of the world. Hottest of the hottest girls say, oh, we got our feet on the ground and we're burning it down. Oh, got our head in the clouds and we're not coming down. This girl is on fire. On fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire.
Awesome. Abraham,
Yeah.
let's command. I want to be very mindful of the time.
They can see the flame that's in her eyes. Watch her and she's lighting up the night. Nobody knows that she's a lonely girl, and it's a lonely world. But she gon' let it burn, baby, burn, baby. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. Walking on fire. This girl is on fire.
Alrighty, Abraham, I think we're good to go. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Abraham, can you hear me? Thank you. Awesome. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of our Women Within series. My name is Mame Dihie, and I am so elated today to be hosting another session of our show. If today's the first time of you joining us, you're definitely welcome. And the Women Within series is basically a conversational session that was established by the Power of Love Foundation Canada, which I happen to be the founding executive director. And I have a bunch of amazing team members that support me and enable us to ensure that we're getting this work done and fulfilled. And obviously, I cannot do this work alone. So literally, I dot my hats off to my whole team. Before we begin, if you look in the chat box, you see that we've shared the link and posted the link to today's session. I want to highly encourage you to please share the link with someone. I know today promises to be very enlightening, to be highly educative and informative as well. So do well to share it across your WhatsApp groups, together with your friends, send it to someone because we have a very, very big Top Gun in the house. And I am so, so excited to be affiliated, sorry, with her, associated with her, and someone I can call a mentor as well as a mother. So before we begin, I would love to read her bio as well as share some interesting facts about her. So let's start. But before that, actually, hold on. Can you place in the chat box where you're joining us from? So I am joining you from, sorry guys, my mom literally just walked in and said the link is not working. It's working. Can somebody please call my mom and help her with the link? The code is correct. Just put the password in. Okay. Thank you. Mothers. Anyways, so I'm sure maybe not just her alone, other people might be having similar challenges. So if you know of someone that's having a challenge joining the link, please kindly help them have access to it. Thank you all so much. So let's just begin, and I'd love to read Dr. Asare's bio. So Asafo Hene Dr. Afua Asabea Asare holds a traditional title as Asafo Hene Tutu Eredu of Ikapim, with nearly 30 years of management experience in integrative communications, organizational development, and so on. She was appointed the CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority in 2018 by the former president of Ghana, President Nana Akufo-Addo. Dr. Asare serves on prestigious boards, including African Leadership Academy, South Africa, IE University in Madrid, and Ghana Exim Bank. Her awards are enormous. They include the 2019 Women in Transformational Leadership Award, induction into West African Nobles Hall of Fame, and the 2022 African Female Leadership Impact Award. She holds multiple advanced degrees, including an MA in Positive Leadership from IE University Madrid, DBA, which is a Doctor's of Business Administration from Swiss Business School, and an LLB from the KNUST, which is the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. She previously worked at Ghana Telecom, Ghana Ports Authority, and consulted for organizations like Coca-Cola, MTN, to mention but a few. Dr. Asare is strongly committed to people development. She offers training, coaching, mentorship, custom solutions to business leaders, entrepreneurs, consultants, speakers, to mention but a few. She's an art enthusiast. She enjoys painting, creating mosaic work, using recycled household items, and she is married with amazing, amazing children. Before we welcome her, I want us to share our screen. We're going to share some facts you might not have known about Dr. Asare. So tech team, please help me with that. And I was very stunned when I actually came across these facts, because I turned to my mom and I said, this woman, she really, really enjoys life. She doesn't allow the waves and the hurdles of life to get so much at her. So whilst we wait for the screen to be shared for us to visibly see it, I'm going to verbally mention some. One of it is that she's the last of 6 children. During her during the early stages of her life, she loved to play hockey as well as roll car tires on the field. She also, in addition to that, is an art aficionado, and she was noted as one of the top 100 most influential women in Africa. Lastly, she loves Shatawale, she loves Stone Boy, and she also loves Kofi Kinata. I was like, yes, mom. I was very, very stunned, but I was not surprised. So today we're just going to have a conversation to get to know her more. I know some of you are wondering, who is this woman? I've maybe never heard of her before. I've heard of her. I don't know too much about her. So today, please help me welcome the elegant, the bold, the trailblazer, the visionary, Dr. Asabea Asare. You can clap, you can put woos in the chat box, whatever it is, But Dr. Asare, we are so happy, happy to have you here. Right before you came, you made mention that you just came from another women's program and you're literally here with us. I just want to say thank you so much for making time to be here. We value
Thank you, mommy.
you.
Was that all about me?
It sure
Wow.
was. It sure
It's so
was. It
nice
sure
to
was.
be on your platform again. I think we did this once,
Yes,
and I'm so
2023.
excited to be here again. And to all your viewers and listeners out there, wherever you are, thank you so
Amazing.
much for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we begin, I wanted us to start with a surprise for you, Dr. Sari.
Mm,
So in 2023, when we had you here to have a talk,
mhm.
I remember I was speaking to a friend on the phone, and her name is Linda. I'm actually going to add Linda here at the moment. Linda, if you can turn on your video for me, so that awesome, so that I could add you on the spotlight. Linda called me sometime this year and said, Mommy, I have a testimony from the session you had in 2023 with Dr. Sare. So today I called her and I said, you need to share the testimony with her verbally for her to hear it. So, Linda, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Mom.
Linda,
Hi, Dr. Afua. I am excited. I'm so excited. Mommy, thank you so much for this opportunity. Dr. Afua, I just want to say thank you so much and God bless you. And I just want you to know that this series and all that you are doing, it is not in vain. You are really impacting a lot of lives. You are really making a huge difference. And I happen to be one of those people that the very first series that you had with Mame had a lot of impact on the work that I do. So to be honest, during that series, it was my very first time of meeting you, of even hearing about you. And when I came on that seminar or that series, I was in the middle of actually developing my very first online course because I'm a leadership and development consultant. So I provide leadership and development training to business executives, business leaders, and all of that. To be honest, whilst I was, working on my modules, there was a particular one that I was working on for management and how to have effective management system in the workplace. And I had done the recordings, but I was actually stuck and I didn't know what else to put on. But then, as I was listening to you that day, you made a very powerful statement. And that statement actually it has actually stuck in my head. Not only did it stuck in my head, but it actually gave me the wisdom to be able to know what I needed to put into that particular module that I was working on. And that statement that you made was that today's employees, they are not looking for managers or leaders who are performance based or task based. They are not looking for results driven kind of managers or leaders only, but they are also looking for leaders who are going to serve as mentors and coaches in today's workplace. And the moment you made that particular statement, it was like a light bulb that came to me. So I remember writing it down and I went back and I was like, yes, this is what I need. This is what I need for me to be able to make the difference between who a micromanager is versus who a macro manager is. So today, I'm just here to let you know that I'm so grateful because without that particular seminar, I didn't know what I would have done with myself and the online course and what I was doing. So I'm just here to let you know that everything that you are doing, the work that you are doing, it's really making a huge impact in the lives of so many people. So today I am truly excited and I have my notebook here and I'm here to take.
Thank you so much. Mommy, here. Write her an invoice. She's my manager. Write her an invoice. Thank
Don't
you
worry,
so
I
much,
got you. I
Linda.
got you, mommy. I got you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. I mean, this is the kind of impact that we aim to, create. And if one person out of the thousands that we talk to um, is impacted by whatever it is that we talk about, then we feel fulfilled already. We feel fulfilled already. It's all to the glory of God that at least something happened, because that's all we aim for. So thank you so much. And I would like to sit in one of your online classes.
Oh,
We are still learning every day. We are still learning. It never ends.
yes.
Learning never ends. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much, Linda. Really appreciate that beautiful testimony. Dr. Asare, speaking of learning never ends, you literally never stop learning or never stop educating yourself. I was looking at your bio and I was watching a video of you, and you passed a statement and you said, when I'm bored and I want to learn something new, I just go and educate myself. Is it out of just mere boredom or just the desire to really enhance your knowledge?
I don't just want to survive, I want to live.
Mm.
And if you want to continue living, you have to be eager to learn every day. Things are happening, things are changing every day. You cannot just sit there and let the world run you by and say, oh, I'm 40 years old. Nah, it's too late to learn this, it's too late to do that. For me, I don't look at things like that. I don't even look at my age. If I feel like going out there to study something, to learn something, I'll just get up and go. If it's going to be beneficial to me and the people that depend on me, I will go out there and do it, no matter where it is. And that's why I travel around studying. I don't just study in Ghana, I go to all manner of countries. I go to all manner of places where I think there's something for me to learn that is going to be beneficial to me, the work that I do, and even my existence right now. It keeps you going. It's fun. It's living. It's nice. I love it.
You know, one of the
It serves
primary
a
reasons
purpose.
it does.
Yeah,
One of the primary reasons why people might not or might be hesitant to further their education is because of their age. They
yeah,
calculate and they say, well, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 50s or 60s, and I have
yeah,
children, I'm married, and so on.
yeah.
What made age not be, besides obviously your desire to learn more, but maybe there might be someone here who also has that desire to further your education and learn more, but age has become a limitation for them. What are some of the things that you would say work for you?
Um, I remember when I wanted to go and do my doctorate, a friend of mine said, "Oh, you're too old. What about you?" And I think I was around 40. And you see, you wake up and 4 years or 5 years of doing your doctorate would have passed, and you wouldn't have done it. And then you look at yourself and you say, I could have done this. So what stops you? If nothing stops you from doing it, if it is not a hindrance to anything, if it's not going to kill anybody, if you have what it takes to do it, why not? It's not about age. You don't even know when you are going to die, which is something that God has hidden from us. You don't know what is going to happen to you. You don't even know what is going to happen to you in the next second. We live in the now. We live now. I could just have the now. Maybe the next 2 seconds is not even mine. So if I decide to do something and I think it's okay to do it, it's going to be beneficial, it's going to support me. It's towards my own personal growth. Why not? I don't think about all the other things that people will say. I live for me and what is going to be beneficial to others around me and those who look up to me. And so I go ahead and I do it.
There's a theory in psychology called dual awareness, and it has to do with resilience and positivity. And and what that statement says is that even irrespective of the challenges that you are enduring at the moment as a person, you still look at other things that you are grateful for. So, for
Of
example,
course.
you don't have money at the moment, but you are grateful for life. My question for you is, what are you grateful for at this moment besides the gift of
Oh, I was just going to say life.
life? Besides the gift of life, what are you very much grateful for?
I'm grateful for everything. For everything, really. I don't even know what to say. I would have said life, but since you took that out of the equation, I'm stuck. But for everything, for humanity itself,
Mm.
to be able to impact people, for me, I'm so grateful that I'm still here.
Mm.
Um, every morning when I wake up and I swing my legs off my bed, I just look up and I say, Hallelujah, I'm here. There was a time when I couldn't even get off the bed. And so for me, that alone, just getting off the bed and being able to put my own 2 feet on the ground is enough for me. I'm so grateful for that. It means I have conquered another day. I am about to, conquer another one. And I'm happy for that. And I'm so grateful for that. And I say to God, just lead me on. I'm here. I'm still here.
If you're comfortable, would you like to share what caused you to be bedridden?
Many years ago, 20, 2000, the year 2000, there was a plane crash in Ghana, and I was on that plane traveling from Tamale to Accra. I had a baby, so my baby was about 6 months old, and I went to the north to work with the then Miss Ghana, Mariam Sudi Bodri, Miss Ghana 99, on a breast cancer awareness campaign. And we were visiting villages in the north of women who had breast cancer. And we went with a team of doctors and nurses to see how we can support them and also to do screenings for them. But I wanted to come home quickly. So I decided, because of my baby, I decided to come with the airlink flight, which was a military flight that was operating as commercial at that time. Unfortunately, we crash landed just before the tarmac, just when we crossed the motorway, and it landed me in the hospital for 1 year. So I was at 37 military hospital for 1 year because I had the aviation fuel all over my body. My legs were broken. My colleague that I traveled with lost his leg. He was sitting by me. He lost his leg, and whatever chopped off his leg almost got me as well. So I was bedridden for about 8 to 9 months. And then when I got discharged from the 37 military hospital, almost a year after, I wasn't walking. I wasn't walking. I was still using the wheelchair, and one leg was shorter than the other. I mean, it was bad. But I was very happy. I was the happiest person when I realized that I was still alive because people died around me. And in my ward, you can't come there looking sad because I was very happy. I never asked, why me? Of course, why not me? And God knows how to ground people. I was in my 30s. I was making a lot of money. I was all that. I felt so good. Not in Bushy, you know, you're young, everything, you touch things to gold, you're all that. Everybody says, hey, look at Asabea, she's so cool. And so I was all over the place, working, excited all the time, never resting, never, calming down to reflect on my life and what I wanted to do with myself and all that, because I was doing stuff and I was making it anyway. But you see, God has a way of saying, stop right there. Let's take another look at your life. Let's see what we can do with you better than what you're doing for yourself. So for me, that was that moment. So I never said, why me? Because I thought it's about time. Something ought to give. With the way I was moving, something ought to give. So I had to chill. I'm in my hospital bed. I can't move. I'm a captive audience. I'm there. Everybody comes to me. God talks to me every day. I talk to him. I'm not going anywhere. Nothing is taking my attention. And for me, that was the, if I say that I had the happiest time of my life, it was during those days. I was very happy in the hospital, although I was in so much pain. I was so happy that at least I got the time to be at one place to reflect on my life and see what the next chapter had for me. And I saw that it was going to be a very bright future. So I was just waiting to get out of that place and do all the things I wanted to do. So I sat there and I did my plans. I had a strategy for my life going forward. Inshallah, I knew that God was going to help me. And that's how come for me, those were the happiest days of my life. I recovered. I went home. Even when I wasn't working, I said, let me go to the School of Communication Studies in Legon. I'm going to do my mass comm immediately. And my mother was like, oh, wait till you can walk, wait till you get better. I said, no, this year I'm going. That was 2002, thereabouts. I went to the interview virtually crawling. And there's a block where we had the interview. Those who went to Legon will know. Tingy Tingy. We had to go, we called it Tingy Tingy, and I had to go upstairs. So some of my colleagues who were coming for the interview actually carried me upstairs to do the interview. And I started school again right from the hospital. I started school. And in between that, I traveled to the UK, did some surgery here and there, and learned to walk after 2 years. So I had to learn to walk again. Around that same time, that baby that I had, that I was rushing home to take care of, was very sick. He was sick for almost 13 years. And so I'm taking care of myself, I'm taking care of this baby. It was not easy. I remember when I was in the hospital, my baby was also very sick, at the brink of death. And he was in the Temaport clinic. So my house help at the time, my baby's nanny, she calls me and says, Mommy, Nana is dying, and we've been told not to tell you. I said, no, my son can't die. He has to get well. It's because I'm not around him. And I was bedridden. I'm in the hospital. I'm at 37. How am I going to get to my son? So I told the nurses that evening that I feel like if they put me in the wheelchair, I can sit up now. And so they should put me in the wheelchair and put me outside. I haven't seen outside for a bit, and I want to go out. And they were all excited. So they put me in the wheelchair, pushed me out. And I had a little money on me because when people came to visit, they brought me money. My room was almost like, a party going on. People bought a lot of food, and I wasn't supposed to be eating the food because then I was just gaining and gaining, and it was going to affect my legs. So it was always a party in the afternoon. I had a little money on me. So as I was sitting in the wheelchair, and the nurses thought, oh, it's good. She can't go anywhere anyway. She's just sitting in this wheelchair. A taxi came to drop somebody off, and I managed to convince the taxi driver to take me away. And he carried me and took me. I told him my story, and he took me. He brought me all the way to Tema to see my son, and he was really dying. And they put me on the bed with him, and I said, I'm not going anywhere. My son is going to get well. So I'm going to pray with him, and he's going to get well. So they left me there at the hospital. During this time, they were looking for me at 37. A patient is missing. And so they had to call, the doctor in Tema had to call the doctors in 37 and say, your patient is here. She's fine. We will take care of her. And she's taking care of her son. We would like to keep her here for a few days because we don't know what is going to happen to the boy. I laid by my boy and I prayed with my boy and I prayed. I prayed, I'm telling you. And in 2 weeks, he got well and he took me back to 37. So, that era of my life for me, it changed me a lot. It made me see the glory of God. It made me see what humanity is all about.
I'm an Alabama nigger, I want to be free. L-A-C-P. I don't drink, I don't cuss.
Oh my God.
I'm a sissy.
Technology is so horrible.
Don't worry, our tech team has got
Yes, technology. So, I really grew up around that time. I changed everything about me, a lot that I can. Those that I have control of, I did change. And I saw the world differently. And I was so happy that the Lord had given me another lease on life with another perspective. And it's like, just do you, be who you want to be. You have all the opportunity now. And I was very happy. So I took that opportunity of a second lease on life to be who I want to be. Then I started doing all the programs I wanted to do. I started doing things that would benefit me and others and not just me. And, I realized that it was very fulfilling. It was more fulfilling, although I didn't have as much money as I used to have before my accident. But I was a very fulfilled person. I was very happy. I was a very happy person. I had to go out there and do what I know how to do best now to support other people. I'm not an extrovert, but I had to learn. I wasn't your typical people's person. I'm a very, very reserved person. And I'm reserved, but I'm very, very
crazy for his big black nigger master.
I am an introvert with the outlook of an extrovert. That's what I would say. So
wow, I feel as if we can literally end the session at this moment because what? And the statement that you said that kept me you said God has a way of grounding us.
yes.
And I think everyone has that moment in their life where something happened that just changes the trajectory of your life.
Exactly.
And as you have said, it's like that accident that happened. And it reminds me of the scripture where the Bible says, though the enemy meant it for evil,
Exactly.
God literally turned it around for you.
Turn it around. Yes. Yes. So you always have to see the positives in everything that happens to you. I was telling the ladies this morning that when I wake up in the morning, I decide whether I'm going out there angry or happy or I'm going to impact somebody's life. You have a choice. You decide. And when you decide, the angels say amen. You decide what it's going to be like for you, what the day is going to be like for you. Don't leave anything to chance. God has given you that power to decide how your life is going to be. And He will support you if you take that decision that today, this is how I want my life to go. It's okay if it doesn't go well. We hit obstacles on the way, but then we regroup and we move on.
Incredible. So if you just joined us, welcome to the Women Within series. Today we have Dr. Afua Asabea Asare. and the conversation has been so good so far. For some of you who might not know, Dr. Afua Asare has dreadlocks of 5 feet 4 inches. It's Dr. Afua, your
It's
dreadlocks are
hidden.
taller than me.
Yes.
I watched a video of you at Wedemaya, and you said your dreadlocks was a covenant between you and God.
Yeah.
Can you please talk more about that? And also touch on the area where you were living in a country where looks holds, it's very paramount.
Yeah.
And how a woman with dreadlocks of 5 feet 4 in a country of Ghana was able to not allow the words of people get to her and get to the position in which you are. But I want us to start with the covenant of your dreadlocks. Can you please touch more about that?
That was the first time I talked about it because
Wow.
he kept harassing me. We had an interview that he was supposed to broadcast. He did not even broadcast that interview. And then as I got up to leave, and he saw my hair. The whole thing turned to be about my hair that he talked about. And so, yes, I married quite early. I married, I think, at the age of 24, 25. And I was hoping that I wanted to have 6 children, actually. I always wanted to have 6 or 8 children for some reason. I don't know why. So I was hoping 24, 25, the first one was going to come, maybe some twins along the way. Nothing was coming. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. That's a whole other story to talk about. Almost 10 years.
Wow.
It was scary. I had done everything. They didn't even know what was wrong with me and what was wrong with my husband. Nothing. The doctors said, we just can't tell. You're all okay. So one day I said to God, if you give me a child, I won't cut my hair. I won't cut my hair for 20 years and other things. But my hair was one of them. I won't cut my hair, and I'll pray and I'll pray and I'll fast and I'll do everything and I'll tell him that and I won't do this and I won't do that and I'll stop doing this and do this for you, do that, and I won't cut my hair for 20 years. Because I used to love cutting my hair. It was like a hobby. Today you see me out there with long permed hair, the next day it's short. I'm always cutting, I'm dying, I'm doing something crazy. And my mom was always pissed off with that kind of thing. So I said, I won't cut my hair. And everybody who knew me knew that when I said that I won't cut my hair, it's a very painful thing for me because I like cutting my hair. I could just be talking to you and I'll go to the washroom and I'll be back with no hair. So that was the kind of person that I was. And now I'm saying that I'm not going to cut my hair for 20 years. Everybody said, let's see you do that. And then he gave me a child. And then within 9 months, I was still breastfeeding my baby when I got pregnant. They said when you are breastfeeding, you don't get pregnant. And I was breastfeeding and doing what I have to do with my husband too.
That's right.
And then I got pregnant and I had a son. So now I have a girl and I have a boy. And I said, hey, I told God that I was going to do this. So I did. I cut my hair. My perm was equally long. So one day I went to the hairdressers and I said, I want to cut my hair. And they were like, wow, is that your hair? But why are you going to cut it? It's so beautiful. I still have the permed hair that I cut with a rubber band around it.
Almost 20 years.
I'm going to do a weave and sell. So I cut it and I started growing my locks. And you have no idea what I went through. Does she go to church? Does she worship God? Does she wash it? It stinks. I'm sure you can't have your hair like this in the corporate world. It was all manner of things, but it's got nothing on me. I have had my covenant with God. Who are you to tell me to break it? Mere mortal. It's between me and my God. And so I stuck with it because this is what I asked. I believe that I told God this was what I was going to do. I don't have anything to give him. What do I have? He owns everything anyway. This is the only way I could show my appreciation, or among some of the ways that I was going to show my appreciation. If he gave me what I wanted, then he gave me two. So who am I to say I'm breaking it? Or why would I listen to anybody when it's not killing anybody? It is just hair. And it's not killing anybody.
Mm.
And it's not about what is on my head. Somebody says it's not, I'm not my hair. It's about who I am. And you have to get to know me. To start judging me by what is on my head. I have lost count of how many times I have traveled around and I have been singled out to be given a very thorough check. My bags, even my lipstick will be opened and everything because I could be hiding him. Can you imagine? Because I have locks, I should be smoking weed.
Ganja
So,
planter.
yes, I will be searched. I mean, people look at you. I'm sure I've lost certain privileges because of that. But if I don't even know about them, I don't even, care. It doesn't even hurt me because I think that God has done a lot for me. I'm always saying I'm the favorite last born of God.
Mm.
He's done so much for me that even if there are some privileges that I think that I might have lost because of my hair, they were not meant for me. Because everything that was meant for me or is meant for me is coming to me. I believe in that. And I am happy with whatever it is.
Mm.
So I love my hair. It's now 21 years. And I'm like, okay, we are done, aren't we? Now
Are you considering cutting it?
I am considering, seriously. I am.
So the covenant was the
Sometimes
26
I
years.
trip on it. I'm tripping on it. I'm
Lord.
tripping on it. And yeah, it's painful when I step on it. And I don't always like wrapping it. It's always behind me.
Yeah.
These days, I'm learning to carry it, wrap and carry it. That in itself is a whole baggage. Yes.
So it was a 20-year covenant you made with God.
Mhm.
And said, God, if you will bless me with children, I will not cut my hair.
Mhm.
And God kept to his promise. Now, I
Yes, he
want
did.
to just touch a little bit
And because of that, he's giving me life for 20 years.
Hallelujah.
Maybe I would have left a long time ago. But because he has a covenant with me for 20 years, he has to make me live for 20 years for me to
Right. So
fulfill
that
the covenant. You see?
okay. That's
So
right.
maybe me and him should sign another covenant for another
I
20
agree.
years.
You know what?
Yes.
You have inspired me.
Yes.
After this call, I'm going to do covenant with God. That's
Yes. Me and him
amazing.
will have to sign another covenant.
Yes. I want to touch on something that honestly I've watched a lot of your interviews, but I've not heard you really touch on it. And that is the 10-year plus waiting period.
The 10-year.
Waiting period for a child.
Oh.
What was it like? As a woman, I'm sure you had just started working in the corporate section and whatnot. What was it like for you in that waiting period?
It was painful.
Mm.
It was a very painful period. The first 5 years, I was really not so shaken. But from the fifth year, like when all your friends are now married, having children, they're inviting you to birthday parties of their kids. If you don't go, they'll say that you don't like them. It's because you don't have a child, all kinds of things. You have to go. You love their children. You love them too much. They think you're even pretending.
Mm.
It was a very, very painful time for me. People made snide comments. I remember one day I like plants. I love plants and animals. All my money goes into plants and dog food at that time. I love dogs. There was a time that I was breeding them. I had about 15 Dalmatians. So I'll
Wow.
buy dog food, I'll buy plant food. And my friend was like, you use all your money to buy plant food when we are buying baby food, you know. And I used to like wearing mini dresses. My dresses were mini. Now when I see people wearing short skirts and stuff, I'm like, oh, but they're so naked. But my skirt used to be like 15 inches. I just wear, and I'll wear a dress, and my mom would say, "Is that a blouse?" So my friend said, if you had a child, you won't be wearing short clothes like that. You know, snide comments like that. They were so painful. You know, people were so insensitive to the situation you find yourself in. But I had the support of my husband. He was very, very supportive, but not my mother-in-law. That's another story to tell. She gave me wahala. And I can understand that, but not fully. She wanted to see her grandchildren. So she was, you know, she was also pushing. And it brought a lot of we had a lot of animosity between the two of us, which I wish wouldn't have happened on hindsight. It was painful because I loved her and I always wanted her to be like my mother, but she wanted her grandchildren badly. See that thing that they do on, she's no more here. And so I'm talking about her, but wherever she is, I'm sure I always say that she should tell God that when she comes back, she won't do that again. She won't do that to anybody's child again, because she should have seen me as a daughter. I mean, she had only 2 sons, so she was, and my husband was the first one. So she was expecting something. She was growing old, and I think she really wanted to see her grandchildren. And maybe she didn't know how to, you know, be supportive. Um, but I'm glad that I had a child. I had my 2 children before she passed. So she was very happy. In the end, we were all happy. It happened. But it was very difficult. Very, very difficult. Because they're asking you, when is the child coming? When is the child coming? And you're always going to school. You have to concentrate on making babies, and you're always going to school. Instead of making babies, you're always going to school. What's that? I had my children around this time. What are you waiting for? And you see, it puts pressure on even your parents, my parents. My mother was always pressured. It's like, what is this? She sees that I'm not happy. And so she wasn't also happy. My daddy wasn't happy. My other siblings all had babies. And I was the last one, and everybody was looking for. My mother said, I'm growing old. Who is going to help you take care of your babies? And when I had my first child, she was a premature baby. My mother, and she was so tiny. I call her pocket size. You could literally put her in your pocket. And so my mother said, what is this? I'm such an old lady. I don't even have the strength to take care of babies again. And you go and have this baby that is so tiny like this. I haven't seen anything like this before. What's that? So I had to take care of this baby myself. You had to put blankets around her, put the fire in the room to keep the room warm in Ghana in this temperature, and rub this little thing in a basket. It never sleeps. It was so tiny. It was always crying. Where is Mommy Sarah? I'm sure she's listening. I'm talking about you. You know her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult. Praise the Lord. I had two. He gave me one of each, and made me a very happy woman.
Oh my goodness. This is so, to be honest, Dr. Asare, if just by seeing you and the amazing work you do and how much God has elevated you, it would take you telling someone what you've been through for the person to know that you've been through that. Because you really do not look like what you've been through. You you carry yourself very well, and I think God has given you such joy for you not to even I cannot predict for you that you do not reflect on the things of your past, but you look very, very good. And I'm so touched, and I'm sure many people here are also touched as well. Now let's delve into the aspect of your career. You started working at the age of 21 at Gapoha, and you were working as a secretary. And as time went on, you were doing different taskings. Did you always know? And one thing that you said you were not the most studious in school. You
Yeah.
were not the best. You were neither the last. You were average. So I sat there and said, technically, CEOs are seen as the most intelligent from a standpoint, not intelligent like in terms of academically. So what I mean is, did you always know that you were going to be a CEO? And at what point did you realize that, oh, I think the trajectory of my career is changing or switching?
I always wanted to have my own company, to run my own company. So I knew I'd be the CEO of my own
Mm,
organization.
mm,
Um, and then I started working for public service at the age of 21. At the time that I started working, it wasn't even the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority. It was cargo handling in 1985. In 1985, three organizations merged to become the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, and I worked there as a secretary, a very young secretary. I think I was the youngest then at that time, yes. And I said one day I have to be the DG because I liked it when the DG was coming and all the airs and everything around the DG, Director General. I felt that I would love to be in a position
right.
of a DG one day, but it's not something that I was even consciously working towards. I
Mm,
was working consciously towards having my own organization that I knew I wanted to do. Growing up, I really wanted to be an architect. I'm so enamored with architecture. I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to be a creative person. So I was always dabbling in. As for the architecture, they told me that I wasn't very good in mathematics. Apparently, it's not even true. I could have been an architect. So, and we didn't get anybody to mentor us. We didn't have anybody to talk to. Um, I didn't have the kind of father that I had have a conversation with, but I could have a conversation with my mother. But my mother didn't know anything about architecture anyway. My mother was a creative person like me. She was a trader and a seamstress. And I don't think I could have spoken to my mother about architecture. She knew next to nothing. My siblings were minding their own business. So my father was a very, very strict person. And I think he wanted me to become a lawyer. Your big sister is this person, your big brother is this person, this one is doing this, you become a lawyer.
mm.
I never wanted to become a lawyer. I did law to please him. And as soon as he died, I said, I'm done. I'm going to do what I want to do. So yes, I wanted to be at the helm of affairs of something that is, or an organization that is owned by me. But you see, life is such that sometimes it's difficult. I start my own business. I'll tell you that I'm a serial entrepreneur. You have no idea how many businesses I have started that failed. I will start and they will fail. I will start and they will fail. And I easily also get bored with certain things. So then I'll go back into corporate. I need to support the husband. We need to take care of the children. If my business fails, I run back to corporate. I start to work. But after my accident, I said, no, whatever is going to happen to me, I should be at the top. And that's how come I went back to school because I had already done PR I had already worked as a secretary. I had done PR. I said, no, I have to be the head of a PR department in any organization that I find myself when I am able to work. It was one of the strategies. That's why I went back to do mass comm at Legon. And I came back to work at Ghana Telecom. And I went to head the corporate communications department. So I left Ghana Telecom as general manager for corporate communications. And then I started consulting, working on my own. And, when I found myself in politics, I put myself into politics because I needed a pathway to impact more people. And I wasn't going to wait for anybody to look for me. I put myself there. I said I could support with the then presidential candidates campaign. And I went there and I told them I want to help. And so I started working for that team. It could have been any party at that time because I wasn't so savvy with even politics at that time. I just knew that in my house, you have NDC, you have MPP, you had CPP. And every evening, my mother would just say that we should meet and talk at 25 in my house. My big brother was NDC, he would come. Others were MPP. My mother herself was CPP. And we'll sit down and argue and argue and argue. So in the end, I said, I'm going to NPP. And so I joined NPP. I'm quite happy that I did because it gave me the opportunity to serve my country. And I learned a lot and do what I wanted to do. And I said I wanted to be a DJ. I got to become a CEO. And it was cool.
From what you're saying, it looks like you were very strategic. It's like you knew what you wanted to do. So for example, you wanted to be at the top. So any organization you get to, your eye is on the top. Now, what are
Yes.
some unconventional things that helped you to climb to the top? So by unconventional, not just the traditional go to school,
Yes.
apply for another job, but what are the subtle things that can push you to the top in
You
a
have to be
corporate?
intentional. You have to
Mm,
be intentional. And you have to be bold and courageous.
mm,
And you have to be creative. I remember when I went to Ghana Telecom, I had worked at Gapoha for about 10 years. I had done other things after that. And I started, the level that I started at Gapoha was something like an assistant manager. So almost 20 years after, I find myself at Ghana Telecom. And they said, you have to start at this level, assistant manager. I'm like, what? But you see, I wanted to change something in Ghana Telecom.
mm,
They were having issues with image. The organization was having issues with image. The management then, they were no, Norwegians. Yes,
mm,
we had a Norwegian management.
mm,
And so I think they were having issues and they brought in the Norwegians to come and salvage the whole situation. And I was thinking of traveling out of the country
mm,
to go and work somewhere else or go to school or do something. And then somebody said, Ghana Telecom is looking for a communications person. So I thought it was at a higher level. So I
mm,
went there and they told me, oh, we've already had an interview. We want somebody to start at this level, assistant manager. And I said, assistant manager, I'm even past that.
mm,
But I would like to take this position.
mm,
And the CEO said, we've already interviewed and we have the one that we want already. And I said, no, you don't. It's me. I'm the only one that can turn the image of Ghana Telecom around. So give me a chance. Forget about this person. I'm here today. Ask me anything you want to know. Ask me how I'm going to do it, and I'll tell you. And so he assembled the rest of management. Said, this young lady just walked in here and she says she's the one. So, and she's prepared to start at the assistant manager level. And I said, I am going to start that, but I'm not going to stay there for long because we are going to set goals. 6 months. If I achieve and go beyond these goals that we're going to set, you are going to make me the chief manager. And you're even going to pay me this amount of money. Because they showed me how much they paid. I said, no, I'm not taking this money. I'm worth more than that, but I'll take the title, assistant manager, but I'm not taking that money. You need to pay me more. And if by 6 months I'm not doing very well, you can throw me out. But if I'm doing very well and I see the goals, then you pay me this amount of money, and then you make me the chief manager. It means I'm jumping 7 steps. They were like, okay. If it were only Ghanaians, I think it would have been a different story. But you have other people, the wages understood this. They were not so much looking forward to your documents or the degrees that you're bringing, but the passion that you have to deliver on the goals that you have set. And so they said, okay, let's try her 6 months. And I came with my goals and they accepted it. We signed a contract. And after 6 months, I exceeded it. They gave me my money, they gave me the commendation letter, and they promoted me to the chief manager. So now, from assistant manager to senior manager to, it's a long thing in the public service. I was chief manager. So we sat down to sign another contract. In the next 6 months, I need to get rid of my boss. I need to be the general manager for corporate communications. So I brought another set of goals. Unfortunately, for my boss, he had to go. He had to find another place to put him because then I exceeded my goals as well, took the cash, and became the general manager corporate communications. It wasn't easy because you had other people working in there who didn't understand the whole, who is this person? It's like she's been asking for what she wants and they give it to her. Like they were going to buy vehicles for the general managers, and they were going to buy Toyota Corolla at that time. But I had seen this new car in town. They call it RAV4. It was so beautiful. I was talking to my girlfriend and I said, we have to buy RAV4 when we make money. So at the management meeting, they said, we are buying Corolla for all the general managers, 6 of us. So I raised my tiny hand and I said, can I ask for RAV4 instead? And then the CEO said, why not? And I said, I want a RAV4. And I want the number to be this number. And I want the color to be this color. And when they delivered the vehicles, mine was a RAV4 instead of the Corolla. That one too was Bahala. You need to ask. I did not kill anybody by asking. You need to be bold. You need to be courageous. This is what I want. I am worth it. And I'm asking for it. If you won't give me, fine, give me Corolla. But if I can ask and I'll get it, why not? Sometimes we are so timid in asking. When you can ask God, why can't you ask a human being? The sort of things that people are asking God every day in their heads and in their quiet times and in their rooms. Ask a mere mortal. I'll ask God one day, help me get money to buy a RAV4. Why can't I ask my CEO? I want it. He's a mere mortal. I asked and I got. And it created a lot of, issues for me at work. So then, everything she asks for, she gets. And people are upset because my office was just very ordinary. And I said, this is the image of the organization. I want it furnished this way. So I write a paper to defend that, to the management. And it has changed. I changed my office. I want it to look better than the CEO's office. Everybody comes to my office before they see the CEO. I mean, we are the image of Ghana Telecom. Why shouldn't my office look good? You must be able to argue why you deserve something when it comes to it. Don't shy away from telling a compelling story as to why you need your office to be situated in this wing or done this way or decorated that way or that, or the tools that you need for your work. You must be able to eloquently put it forward to whoever is listening. It's not easy, and a lot of women shy away from these things. But this is where I say courage comes in. In leadership, you need a lot of courage. And so you need where to draw a line. You must have empathy, but not the kind of empathy that is going to destroy you. There should be boundaries. You must know where to put boundaries. You must be compassionate, but not over compassionate.
Wow.
You must be compassionate. You have to be a leader with a heart, but that doesn't mean you are going to kill yourself and kill the organization doing that. You must be able to have difficult conversations. It's very important that you are able to have difficult conversations. And sometimes we shy away from these things. You must be able to let people know what you are worth. You put a lot into yourself. And if you respect who you are, stand in the mirror, ask yourself, who am I? What am I worth? What have I put into myself? You must prepare yourself psychologically for where you want to be and carry yourself like that. I tell the young people, in your time, you have this whole social media, space. Everybody is here on Snapchat, on TikTok, on here, and they are putting out all manner of messages about themselves that maybe they are not. But you see, the internet never forgets. What you are putting out there is shaping you into who people see you to be. And then they will place a price on you. That is your worth in their eyes. How do you want people to see you? How you portray yourself? You want to be the CEO, act like a CEO, talk like a CEO, prepare yourself like a CEO. It's not always all about school. School is important, but even the intangibles of how you carry yourself, how you relate to people, basic things as that, as your respect for other people. Somebody is watching you from somewhere. Somebody is watching all of these things. People are taking notes. And so you can't just project yourself as just anybody and then in your heart hope to be something else. You have to portray what you want to be. You have to work at it. And eventually, hopefully, for me, I believe that if you make a conscious effort at being somewhere or being somebody, even if you don't get there, you get close enough to be there. Or your trajectory may even take you to a better place than where you thought you were going. Yeah.
Dr. Asare, when you got the call from ex-president Akufo-Addo saying he was appointing you CEO, what was the feeling like? Or did you strategize to get there? Or were you single-handedly picked to be the CEO?
I worked very hard. When he started his campaign, his primaries, I was one of the first women to go around the country to campaign for him. Wow. We were 5 people. I remember we were just 5 people, and I was the only female amongst them. Somebody invited me to the first meeting to meet with him. And I had met him before, because when I was at Ghana Telecom, when I do my parties, CEO parties, every year we did a party for CEOs and important people in the country. And he would come, even though we weren't inviting him. He loved to dance. And when he hears that there's a party somewhere, he would come. He knew a few people on the board. So he would come to the party and come and dance. And one day I asked him, why do you come to the party when you are not invited? And you come and you don't even sit down. You dance more than everybody. And Nana laughed and laughed and laughed. And we became friends after that. So one day when I was invited to come to one of the meetings, his first meeting before the primaries, I said, can I be part of the team to travel to start your campaign? He said, if your husband will allow. And I said, I'll talk to him. So I spoke to my husband and he said, why not? So I was part of the first few people who started working on his campaign. Traveled to the north, we traveled everywhere. So I worked very hard for him. And after that, that was in 2005. Yeah, 2005, 2006. I left Ghana Telecom and started working on the campaign. So I went everywhere that he went. I traveled around Ghana for about I think I know every corner in Ghana. For 15 times, I think I traveled around Ghana and outside Ghana, everywhere he went, I went with him. And so it was obvious that if he won, 2008, we lost, 2012, we lost, and we were still working. It was obvious that if he won, he was going to give me a post anyway, or so everybody thinks or thought at that time. And then he went in 2016. And everybody thought maybe the first batch of people that he would name, I will be there. Oh, he named his cabinets, named his people at the Jubilee House that he was going to work with. My name is nowhere. CEOs are being given jobs nowhere. My name never comes up anywhere. I said to my mother, I remember my mother was very sick. She was on her sick bed and she said, "Ifua, don't worry." And she said something in cheese. She said, "Omo a omo swa ohene no, ye hu. Omo a omo nam ho na omo ye na abu, na ye hu." To wait, those who are carrying the palanquin, carrying the chief, are not seen. It is those who are around the chief making the loudest of noise. They are seen. You were carrying the chief. Nobody saw you. It's okay. So I said, okay, Mama, I'm fine. So I had this contract to do something for an organization, an international organization, somewhere in the Brown Halfway region. I was going to collect data. I was in my hotel room when he called. I said, where are you? And I said, oh, me, I'm in Gosu. Hey, what are you doing in Gosu? I said, I'm working. Hey, Afua chop. He didn't give me any post. So life goes on. I'm collecting data for some galamsey work that I'm doing for some people. He said, okay, would you mind coming to say hello to me, at least to see where I am? And I said, of course. I was so happy to go and see where the president is now. I was so proud that I contributed to him being a president. And I was so happy that he was inviting me to the Jubilee House. So it was a Tuesday and I was supposed to go there on a Thursday. I quickly came back to Accra, came to look for my best slit and kaba. You know, when I used to see the women in government, they wear slit and kaba and they put one here on their shoulder and carry their handbag. So I had to dress like that, just in case maybe when he sees me dressed like that. Because I'm not your typical conventional kind of person. So I don't dress in that way. But I got this nice little cover. I still have a picture of that day. And I wore it. And I put the cover cloth on my shoulder. I took my handbag and put it on my arm. And I walked to the Jubilee House. And I went to see the president. And he said, I want you to there's a new ministry that I have, now brought about, the Business Development Ministry. And I want you to be the deputy minister to the minister. I don't even know how I totally forgot about you. And I said, it happens. This man has been working with so many people for so many years. And a lot of people helped. So you don't think you should be at the front of his, but I was very excited that he called me to give me something like that. And he said, I want you to be the deputy minister to the minister. At that time, there was lot of talk about, oh, he has 110 ministers, the ministers are too many, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want people to say that I'm the 111th minister, and it would be my name that would be out there. So I said, Mr. President, I'm so happy that you want me to work with a minister, but I don't want to be a deputy minister. He says, why? Is it because you are scared of the vetting? I said, no, I'm not scared of the vetting, but this whole 110 ministers, and then they are not done making the noise about the 110 ministers, then the 111, 111. Before you realize, they'll even be calling me 111, Minister 111. So please, I can help without any title. I can be there and support the man. It's not about titles, it's about what impact I'm going to, you know, create over there. So he said, okay, so what would you call yourself? And I said, advisor to the minister. He said, whatever it is, whatever, you go. Just go and do the work for me. And I know you do a very good job. So that's how I ended up at the Ministry of Business Development, assisting the minister and supporting him as the unofficial deputy minister. So I was given everything as a deputy minister, is that I didn't go for vetting. And then I was there and he calls me and he says, you are going to GEPA. That was a demotion because where I was, it was like I was under Article 71 at that level. But then it was a demotion, but the best demotion of my life. I loved it. I went to GEPA and it was like everything that I had studied, everything that I had done, my creativity, everything, it all came together. Then I understood why, eventually I understood why I did all the programs that I did to sit at the helm of Ghana's export. For me, was big time. It was no demotion at all. It was big time. Because if we have to thrive, if we have to succeed as a country, anybody who prioritizes exports will take Ghana to the next level. So I thought I have been given the opportunity. I never opened any folder because the folders were all missing anyway. And I said, this is even good. I have a clean canvas. I am going to paint my own picture. I'm going to understand what this business is all about, and I will paint my own picture with the support of the team that I have. And so I brought all the old CEOs, all the former CEOs since the inception of Ghana Export Promotion Authority to meet with them, to get their support, to tap from them. I was like a sponging of everybody. From those who have worked there before and for those who were also there, even the junior staff, everybody, I was sponging of everybody. I'll call them into my office. What do you think we can do? You know, individually, I talked to all the 150 staff members individually to see what I can do, to the drivers, to everybody. And yeah, that's how.
When you were not appointed, were you offended?
Not offended, disappointed. I was disappointed. I'm only human. I worked so hard. And yeah, I remember I was doing a master's in Spain when I was in the IE and I was campaigning. And sometimes I'll have to come to Ghana and come and campaign and go back to Spain. And, you know, I was doing some other program here at Tech at the same time. So it was a crazy time, and I had to sacrifice a lot for this campaign. So I was disappointed, and I had bragged in Spain that my government is coming, and me, I'm going to be somebody in the government. And then all my mates were calling Charlie, how be? And nothing was happening. You see, so I was disappointed. I was highly disappointed. So I was lucky to have gotten that job that took me to the Brown and Happy region to collect data. You know how it is when you're collecting data and analyzing it and all of that. It took my mind off everything. And I was happy that my government was in power. That's it, that I contributed something to it. But I was a little disappointed that I wasn't being offered anything. but eventually, yeah.
You know, you did. We're wrapping up, but I know you did a master's in IE in psychology, human psychology, and understanding how humans think and how humans work. And obviously, I know that has really shaped you in your career, even as CEO and so on. How important is relationship building in the trajectory of one's career?
It is very important. Oh my God, it is. It is not easy, but it is very important, and you have to work at it. It doesn't just happen because people need to trust you a little to be able to, and you need to show your vulnerability. Sometimes we think, okay, I'm a CEO, so I should be tough. I should carry myself in a certain way. I'm all that. No. When people see that you're human, you're vulnerable, they're able to open up to you even more. She's human after all. I have a very interesting story about my director of finance, Venice. I don't know if she's listening. She likes to listen to this podcast. And, So my director of finance, she used to be so scared of me when I started working there because I always wanted my things done in a certain way. And I will not mince words about it. And what a man will do and people will accept as okay, a woman will do it and you're aggressive. So for the first few months of working there, oh, she's so aggressive, she's so boisterous. I just want my things done in a certain way. And so every time she sees me in the corridor, she's like, no, they are scared. They don't know what I'm going to say next. But the moment we are done with the issue and I see her again, I'm like, Venice, how is it? High five, that kind of thing. So one day she met me in the corridor and she said, it's just that you want your things done in a certain way. You're not as scary as we all think, So it's getting to know people, building the relationship, letting them trust you. Suddenly she trusted me. She said, you are not as scary as I thought. I've gotten to understand you. You just want things done in a certain way. And I've realized that you are human after all because I open up to them. If it's not okay, I say, Enko, you guys should help me. So they realize that she's not all that. She's just one of us who wants things done in a way that we will all succeed together. And so gradually you build relationships. You talk to them. I like to call people to my office to know a little bit more about them than the work that we're doing, about family. I could just walk into your office and sit there and start talking to you about your family. How many children do you have? And we will talk about your children. And sometimes I'll invite some of them to bring their children to work. I'd like to see your child come to work, for your child to see what you do in a day, or to come to my office to see what a CEO does in a day. If we had opportunities like that, we would have people that we look up to. So if a little child, 5 years, 6 years, comes to my office, I'm walking around with this child, a day in my life with this little child. Do you know what is going to happen to that child's mind? I want to grow up and be like this person. And they will start mimicking your behaviors and the things that you do and things that you did that took you to that level. So I build relationships unconventionally. I like to talk to people a lot about who they are. I want to understand because you cannot lump everybody together and treat them the same. When I lectured at the university, in my class, I studied each individual. Some people can study very well in a certain environment. I can't lump everybody in my class together and lecture them on the same level. There was one particular guy that when I'm done lecturing in English, 30 minutes is for him. I'm translating everything into Tree. Because he understood it better. In Tree. Yet he was at the university. And then we started, I worked on him. I said, buy simple reading books. so that you'll be eloquent in the English language, because you'll be writing your exams in the English language anyway. Because when he expresses himself in tree, he was better than most of the people in the class. So I will lecture to him in tree before I come back to him in English. And eventually he was doing very well. And we bought simple books for him to read. And it all turned out well for him. And there was somebody that I would give 30 minutes more when they were writing the exams. I'll give him 30 minutes more because his handwriting was so bad. And most of the lecturers will mark him down. I have to mark everybody's paper before I mark his paper, because it will take me about a week to finish marking his paper. I have to decipher everything that he writes. It's so bad. And so they always marked him down. He needed a little more time to be able to. And I know that people have issues like that. I understood that. So I met him halfway. So you don't lump everybody together. You need to understand the people you are working with individually. Some people work very well in the evening. Some people work very well in the morning. Why do you say come to work at 8 o'clock and close at 5? They won't be at their productive best. You have to start identifying who works well at what time. What makes this person work very well? What makes this person produce more? If you don't get to know the people you are working with, if you don't build that kind of relationships with them, how would you get to know them? So that if I give you an assignment, I know what assignment is good for you. So you get the best out of them. If somebody comes to work from 4 to 10 in the night and they give up their best, allow them to do that. You must learn to be a little flexible in the workplace. And you can only do that when you know the people that you're working with, when you have that relationship with them, but you have boundaries, of course. You are setting boundaries. Yes.
I have one last question. I know this conversation has been so good, and many people here, even in the chat box, have shared their thoughts. I am here taking notes, but mentally writing it down. This has been amazing. If you have any question for Dr. Asare, please get ready, place it in the chat box. As time goes on, we would share it once we're done. So please start getting your questions ready. Now, Dr. Asare, my last question for you is, as a woman who always had a vision to excel corporately, to achieve higher heights, what were some of the things you looked for in the man you wanted to marry and settle down? And now that you have passed a huge chunk of your corporate life, what are some of the additions or suggestions or advice you give to women or people who aim to achieve higher leadership positions on the kind of partners they should look for?
That's a tough one. I don't think when I set up to go and marry, I thought about all these things. Honestly, I'm just being very honest with you. I didn't think about. Of course, I wanted somebody who could grow with me. We could grow together, have the same vision or along the same lines. I wanted to marry somebody who would be my best friend, somebody I could talk to. I'm very spontaneous. And so I didn't want the traditional kind of husband that can come home and come and cook for me and that kind of thing and lay some table, be holding a napkin and be waiting for you. No, 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 no. I wasn't that kind of person. In fact, my father said to my husband when he came to do the knocking, by to the whole of this tema, he didn't see any girl, this one. She's very opinionated, very independent. I don't know how you are going to live with this girl. So I said to my father, but why? It's like you don't want me to
Only
marry.
your market.
Hey, how can you spoil my market like that? See this nice, handsome guy. And besides, I really wanted to leave the house. And my father, you can't leave his house if you're not married. Because I was working at Gapoa, I had my flat. Gapoa gave me a flat. Well finished. I'm happy. Nice young girl. I have my flat. I should go and live in it and live my life. My father says, lie. Somebody has to marry you and take you out of this house. You can't go and live on your own. So I had my flat. When I go to work, during lunchtime, me and my friends will come to the flat and we'll come and have fun. Or weekends, we'll go there. The day that I slept there, when I woke up, my father was sitting downstairs reading newspapers. He said, oh, he decided to come and buy his newspapers in the neighborhood. And then he came to say hello to me. Now that I've decided to come and sleep in my house sometimes. Then I said, can he come in? And then he's looking around to see if you see some man, something there. I said, I'm here. No, I didn't go anywhere. So you couldn't live on your own unless somebody married you. And I was in a hurry to go and live in my house. So me, I didn't take into consideration whether the man was okay or he was going to be. I just wanted to live. I'm telling you the truth. I just wanted to live. And I met this nice, handsome looking, cool dude. And even when I saw him, I wasn't interested in him.
You just wanted to leave the house.
I wanted to leave the house. So I didn't look at that. It's just by the grace of God.
Oh, God.
So I met him. But he was so nice. And the other girls in my office who were interested in him. And he was interested in me.
Oh.
And I didn't even know he was interested in me. And the girls were interested in him.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I don't know. I met another friend of mine and said, oh, this guy that works with you, he was doing his service at Afua. I said, this guy that is doing his service, I said, oh, it's that guy, he thinks he's all that. And my friend said, I know his house, let's go. He lives around my place, let's go to his house. He can be friends. I don't know what he had told my friends. So I said, let's go. We went there. When he wasn't even in the house, then I went home. But when I went home, my mother said, oh, this young, nice guy came to look for you. And I said, really? And my mother had forgotten his name already. So when I went to work in the morning, he said, oh, I came to your house. And I said, I also went to your house. That's how it happened.
Wow.
Then we became friends. Then we started talking. Less than a year, I'm getting married, So I'm telling you that the first 5 years was not easy because I'm not getting to know him. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm sure he was also saying, oh no. Because when you think the guy, you are seeing things that you don't like about the guy, he's also seeing things that you don't like about you. But we said we're going to make this work. He's not a bad person. He had potential. He had ambitions. I had ambitions. We were supposed to be supporting each other. And so the first 5 years, it wasn't easy. And then coupled with the fact that I'm not even bearing children and all of that, it was very difficult. But we stuck with each other. My husband is a very calm guy. I'm not, if you see the two of us, you see that I'm the one who is giving issues in the house because he's very, very calm. He's very calm. I could start a fight with him and then he'll calmly walk out. Where I stop there, when he comes, I'll continue from there. I'll jot it down. I was at this point when he walked out. When he comes, I'll continue. It hasn't been easy, but yes, we stuck it out. We stuck it
In
out.
hindsight,
I always say that when you wake up and you see the person and say, oh, what made me marry this guy? I'm sure he also wakes up one day and he sees you and says, what made me marry this girl? It's like that. But you see, if it's all about communication, I speak my mind. He may take offense sometimes, but in the end, he comes back to say, okay, now I understand, you could have said it like this. So his calmness also made me a better person. He's quite a calm person. I am the one that is forthright. I'm saying it as it is. He's the other way around. He will dress what he has to say. So I learned a lot from him too. I'm sure he also learned something from me. He's learned a lot from me. I've learned a lot from him. We've been together for 36 years. And I understand that it is said that you become one. For me, you don't become one. You don't become one. Why do you become? I'm from a different background. He's from a different background. If you understand that, you would know how to excuse certain behaviors. We are from different cultures. I was brought up differently. You were brought up differently. I have a different mind. We should meet at a certain point. But I can't become you. You can't become me. We are complementing each other. And when we understand that we are totally different, two different people who are trying to cohabit and have decided that we will make it work, we will make it work. Period. I didn't go in looking for, in fact, I didn't go in looking for any, I didn't have any list of things that I was going to check out, check. What's the English? My English is getting finished.
Yeah, it's like a laundry list, like a checklist.
Yeah, I didn't have any checklist like that. I didn't have anything. I can honestly tell you that. He looked handsome. He was so calm. He was cute.
And it
I
has
thought he
worked
was
for
doing
36
I
years.
was
You
so
just wanted to
silly,
leave the
isn't it?
house.
I was so silly. I can't even advise any young person when you go, look out for this. Now I can, but when I was going, I didn't have any
Dr.
checklist like
Asare,
that. But it worked
sorry.
out for me.
I am interested in the now. So in hindsight, now that you have gotten to where you are, and this is even different from your own personal marriage, but the leadership position that you have now, and with what you have seen and with what you've gone through, what advice will you now give to women who desire to be in leadership, or men, because we have some men here, or people who desire to be in leadership, of the kind of partner they should go for or look for?
I don't think you want to know what I'm thinking.
I do.
I might say things that will please people, or things that people will want to hear me say. But what I'm really thinking, you don't want to know.
I would
You
love
want
to
to know
know.
what I'm thinking? I think that when two people decide to live together, treat it like a business. It's a partnership. For me, that's how I'll do it. And then we review it every 6 months. What is going well for us? What is not going well for us? What can we do to make this go better? Let's have a conversation every time, quarterly, every 6 months, whatever. Let's set dates. So we go on a date and discuss all these things and come back as better people. We shouldn't, push things under the carpet. Keep talking. Let's keep reviewing. Why can't we review the marriage? Why do we expect things to happen just because we are married? Make it fun. Be creative. So you go on a retreat, like you go on a retreat with your organization. This is a business. Let's go on a retreat. Let's go and have fun. Let's examine where we are. Where do we want to take it to? What are our plans? Our plans need to align. How do we do that? Because I remember my husband was doing his own thing. I was doing my own thing. He doesn't want me to be part of his business, and I didn't want him to know what I was doing either. Do your thing, let me do my thing. Because I told you from the onset that I was very independent and opinionated. And I think that I can do everything. And so I took everything upon myself. It's like, okay, so the building is collapsing. Allow men to be men. I never allowed my husband to be who he is. I did a lot of mistakes like that. It's like, oh, if he's not going to do it now, if I say he should do it now, he should do it now. If you're not going to do it now, I'll do it. Maybe he says, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. It's too late. Let me do it tomorrow. I'll get the people to come and sort it out. Oh, yes, you don't want to do it. I'll do it now. I've done it. And then I have a chip on my shoulder. And then I'm upset because I said he should do it now. He didn't do it now. I can do it. So I've done it. It was like that. And then when you do that, what are you doing? You are taking the man's, you are emasculating him. And I think I was like that in the beginning. And that was how come it was also rocky. You have to sit back and let the man be the man. If the house is coming down, let it come down. He will do it. We are supposed to be supporting them, but we are not supposed to be taking everything. Because I was the type that would say that, okay, we live in this house. You pay the light bill, I'll pay the water bill. You do this, I'll do that. You do that, I'll do that. We split everything in the middle. Men, I think, don't like it like that. Sometimes we make this huge mistake of we are supporting them. So, but let them be the men. If he needs your support, you ask for your support, then you support. I've learned a lot along the way because it was very rocky in the beginning because I didn't have any plans. My only plan is I want to get out of this house. I want to be independent. I don't want my father to say sleep at 8 o'clock or sleep at this time. So I had no plans. So I just went in like that. But I managed to, quickly learn from people that I spoke to and also correct some mistakes. And we are always learning. I'm still learning. It's not like it's cozy. Now we accept each other's faults, so we are there.
Amazing. Oh, this has been so good. We've had everything from life journey to marriage counseling to corporate knowledge
I'm not
and
the best marriage counselor.
but okay, I was going to say something, but it's okay.
Say,
You've
say,
taught us
say.
from your I was going to say that not all marriage counselors have the best marriages anyway.
Okay.
Yes. So I think it's a learning process.
Yes,
Everyone
we are
has
always
some.
learning. Yes.
Exactly. This is amazing. We've had some few questions in the chat. Please put your questions there. As you know, I like to be very mindful of the time for our guests. So if you have your questions, please put them in the chat box. I think the first question we have is from Bernice Kwabing Ridu. She said, how does one stay focused and disciplined in life?
Hmm. How do you stay focused? I wasn't one that was focused. So I'm not an expert on that. I wasn't very focused. I was lucky that everything that I did eventually came together in the end to help me do what I was supposed to do when I was given an assignment to do. But I think when you know where you are going, you know what to do to get there and you stay on the ball. Of course, sometimes certain things, obstacles will come your way, but it's just about how you will manage to manage those obstacles that will make you stay on the ball. Staying focused is not easy. Life is not as easy as staying focused. Things happen. Even when you're trying to stay focused, things happen. But how you manage those things that come in the way of your focus is what matters. I can't prescribe anything that will help you to stay focused. You know it yourself when you know that something is distracting and you have to deal with it. Deal with the distractions. Learning how to deal with the distractions brings you back on the route to whatever you're focusing on. And that takes a lot of discipline. So the discipline lies in knowing that I'm going astray, that something is distracting me, and let me, deal with that distraction. For me, that is a discipline that makes you stay focused.
Amazing. Another question came in and they said, as someone who is as ambitious and a go-getter as you are, how did you handle ambition and moral slash ethics? And were there times where you felt your faith held you back?
Morals, ambition. I think the way I was brought up the kind of parents that I had and the siblings that I had. Lucky to be the last of 6 children, not only 6 children. My daddy had 12 children, and I was still the last of all the 12 children. And they all did very well for themselves. So if you are the last and you have siblings that are doing so well for themselves, you can't go wrong. And so you go out there and you have friends growing up, teenager, you're all over the place, things are happening. You know where you come from. As the guys will say, when you're going to do something bad, you know that, hey, me, I come from this house. My sisters are doing this. My brothers are doing this. My parents are like this. So you take yourself out of it. So I think my upbringing helped a lot in how I led my life, or I lead my life even now. Even now, when I'm doing something, I'll say, hey, if my mom was here, she would have said this. If my daddy was here. So, and my siblings are still acting like my parents. They forgot that I grew old. And they call me and say all kinds of things. So, yeah, I'm ambitious, but I make sure that I'm not offending anybody with my ambition. It's me, it's my life. I do me. That's all I can say.
Amazing. We have Bernice saying that as a young trade consultant who is building Trade Code Alliance to support Africa's export future, what one step would you advise that she takes now to make a lasting impact in Ghana's trade and AFTA space?
She wants to be an exporter. I didn't hear the question.
She said she's a trade consultant.
Oh, a trade consultant.
Yes, please. That is building Trade Code Alliance to support Africa's export future. So, what advice would you give to her to make a lasting impact in the trade sector?
Every day, things are happening in that ecosystem, the international trade ecosystem. She has to keep on reading wide, understanding the various markets, especially if she's working for Ghana, looking for the strategic markets that Ghana can trade in and understanding that market. Otherwise, you cannot even advise people to go into that market. Right now, I'm trying to go into the Sierra Leonean market.
Yeah.
I have to understand that market very well. Although they are part of West Africa, and I think I understand West Africa as a whole. Taking it country by country, every country has its own peculiar issues that you have to understand and work with. So you need to understand. I always say that if you, for instance, you have a commodity that you want to introduce onto the Burkina Faso market, don't even package it in red. They won't sell. The color they don't like is red. They don't like packaging anything in red. If you do not understand this, you have your beautiful product packaged in red and you take it there, it will be so. So know the market. Every day things are changing. Keep learning about the markets that you're introducing people into and get to understand it very well.
Amazing. The last question someone has here is, so you did mention that you had a zeal of getting things done as a leader. You were very strategic and very courageous. And you also did mention that it made your subordinates very anxious. Some people were complaining. How did you handle that?
After they've gained your trust, after they've seen that it's not personal, it's a very thin line between things that people take as personal. People find it difficult to draw that line. That this is not about me. It's about issues. Sometimes I'll ask them, do I know you? I don't know you anywhere. I met you here. I've given you something to do. You have not done it to my satisfaction. That is what I'm talking about. I don't even know you to critique you as a person now. So don't take it personal. Let's talk about the issues. I'll get to know you later. So it's difficult for people to draw that line. And then everything that you say, it's an attack on them. If I had taken that stance, I wouldn't have survived. Because every day people are attacking. I would have said they are attacking me. But sometimes they are attacking my behavior. It's not that I was a perfect person. I was a perfect CEO. I was the best. I knew everything. I also made my mistakes. And sometimes I listened to what they were saying because but it is always the way that we give feedback. Sometimes the way we give feedback doesn't make it acceptable to people. And then they think that we are being aggressive or abrasive or whatever. Because I'm always saying that feedback should be given like a gift. Wrap it nicely and give it to the person. That is when the person can accept it. And so when people get to see that the feedback you're giving to them is not a personal thing, it's something that they are nuggets of gold that they could use for their own personal growth. I think it changes their attitude towards you. Then they start gaining trust, and then you build that relationship. And yes, there's a little bit of trust, and everything goes a long way.
Everything combined. The
Yeah.
last question here is, how do you set boundaries?
How do you set boundaries? You have to let people know.
Mm,
It's just letting people know that this doesn't work with me.
mm,
This works with me.
mm.
I know my worth. If I know my worth, I can set boundaries. I don't have to kowtow to what everybody says. You don't become a people pleaser. When somebody is a people pleaser, you know that they don't know anything about what they are doing.
Mm,
They don't have confidence in themselves, or they have low self-esteem, or they don't even understand what they are doing. And so they have to please you so that you don't see that side of them.
mm,
Don't be afraid to have difficult conversations because setting boundaries sometimes tends to be difficult. It's difficult, but don't have a difficulty in setting these boundaries because they're supposed to support you. They're supposed to help you and even help the other person or the persons that you're setting these boundaries um, around you for,
mm,
so that they don't fall into traps
mm,
or make mistakes that are going to anger you and them as well.
mm.
It works for you and it works for them as well. They know, okay, I can't go beyond this line with this person. For instance, I have a business. We are so fond of it's my friend's business. So when I go there, she has to give me this hefty discount. I paint, I sell my art. But people think that because they are my friends, oh, when they come, oh, send me artwork, maybe oh, this one, just give me one. I bought the paint, I bought the canvas. It took me hours to paint. That is my salary when I paint. You are being paid a monthly salary. Maybe I don't even get a monthly salary. This is what I do. Then you are telling me, Fachemi, I'm a caterer. Oh, so they owe my downfall. So hefty discount I'm looking for. No, you can't do that. It is my business. I have to be able to tell you when you order, I'm bringing you the invoice. I know the relationship. You have to assess the relationships and see if it is this kind of person that I can give this discount. Of course, if it is my mother, I have to give her some discount. If it is my friend, what kind of relationship do I have with this person? But it is a business. Of course, they shouldn't allow my business to fold. So it is business. Maybe one day when I'm doing very well, I can even say, "Oh, it is your 50th birthday party. I'm taking this. I'm doing this for you." But don't expect that I'm building a business. And then you come and order something and say, "Oh, because you are my friend, oh, add 100 more pies to it for food." No, you have to be able to have that conversation. I'm a consultant. Oh, because you're my friend, you advise me on this, do this for me, do this for me. You don't want to see an invoice? Really? How do I survive? So we need to have conversations like that. We need to be upfront with people in all spheres of life. Everyone getting into marriage, you have to let your husband know the kind of person you are. I'm not the kind that is going to say mirror. So don't expect me to call you mirror. And don't get upset when I don't call you Mira, because I'm not going to call you that. Don't start calling the person Mira when you are dating, and then when you marry, they are not calling him Mira, then he's angry. No. Don't start, if you're not going to be setting the table for him and be, treating him in a certain way, let him know this is who I am. I told my husband I don't do that. I don't know how to do that. My mother was doing that for my father, but me, um, I'll be doing some things. I may not have time to be laying the table to be waiting for you. So I remember when we went to visit a lady that we knew. I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Amedume, and um, the woman will be serving her husband. Oh, daddy, and the way, then he'll be like, have you seen?
Have you
Have you
seen?
seen that?
Have you seen your
I said,
mates?
oh, stop it. I told you I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'll learn. But I treat you better in another way. Maybe I'm not doing this, but I'm doing something that maybe she's not doing. So, let the person know who you are
Hmm.
upfront. Your boundaries. Even in
Hmm.
marriage, we have boundaries. That's why I'm saying that you can never be one. You have boundaries. He has boundaries. Respect those boundaries.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that you lose yourself. No, you don't lose yourself. Encourage this person to be um, at the highest level they want to be, so that they can also encourage you. Give them
Hmm.
permission to be who they want to be, and let them give you permission to be who you want to be. And that is how you grow together.
Wow.
Amen.
This was so good. So, so good. Dr. Asare, you've really, really poured into us. When I was coming into this session, what I told God was, God, let there be things that Dr. Asare has not really said publicly before, that maybe even if I go on YouTube, I cannot find it. And I think, I cannot assume, but there are some things that you really touched on, that you really poured into us. I felt like I was sitting in your couch and we were just having a conversation. So thank you so very much for all the
Well,
knowledge you've shared to us. And I would leave you with the last 5 minutes, your final words for anyone here that might be like they are stuck in life or at a crossroads. What do you have to say to us?
sometimes you just have to step back, give yourself a little space, and
Mm,
reflect on everything that is going on.
mm,
Stop all the monkeys in the brain. We have these chattering monkeys in our brains all the time.
mm,
Sometimes we must be able to quieten the monkeys that
mm,
are chattering, do this, do that, do that. We are so confused and all of that. Find a quiet time. Silence all the monkeys. Give yourself space to reflect on what it is, that the situation that you're in. And I'm sure when you give yourself time and that peace, you'll be able to come to the answers that you need to move on to the
mm.
next level.
Amen. Thank you very much, Dr. Sa. I feel
You're
so
welcome.
full. I feel full. I
You're
feel,
welcome.
I feel like I just ate a big bowl of fufu. Like uh, it's you've really.
Let mommy do fufu for you. I think you've
She
missed
doesn't like
fufu.
fufu, so she
She
won't
doesn't
like.
like fufu.
No, she doesn't like
Oh,
it. So I have to do my own thing myself. But thank you so, so much,
you're
Dr.
welcome.
Asare.
You're
This
welcome.
has been
It's
great,
been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
and I
Mhm.
know that the next time we speak, somebody will come again with another testimony.
Again, you see,
Yes, yes,
Linda, thank you so much. I'm
yeah,
looking forward to more of that.
yeah.
More of
I
that.
know we're
And
going to have,
I'm always here.
yes,
Mhm.
many, many testimonies. A quick one. Thank you, everyone, for making time to join us today. This has been so, so, so insightful, like I mentioned, and This has been great, and we really, really appreciate you all. When you look in the chat box, you see that Nanaya has posted our social media links. Check out our Instagram, check out our YouTube. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. This session was actually live streamed on YouTube as well, so you can actually go back and go and watch it and read it and soak it and everything in between. Do follow Dr. Asare on Instagram as well at the Asabea_A. She has a beautiful, beautiful fashion line called AYA by Asabea. Please check it out. Very, very amazing. And feel free to send us your feedback as well in the feedback form that we've posted below. We love you so much. We're going to be posting our next guest speaker very soon. See you same time in a couple of weeks. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
trendybeats.com